yet another new video about prices as part of the 6 marks analysis question on paper 2 of Economics 2281 O-level paper. It has been a long time and I am back thanks to a lot of well wishes and prayers from people, and I hope I will not disappoint you and you will get what you want from these videos. The way this video is divided is that we are going to do a recap of concepts, then we will look at the actual answer and some common mistakes to find out the pitfalls where we are making crucial errors. Before we begin, what you need to know is the concept of price, factors affecting price, market forces of demand and supply, government intervention, and last but not the least, elasticity. If you have any problem in one of these topics, I suggest you pause the video, go return to your textbooks or other learning material, learn them, reflect on it, and come back and start watching the video again. The question for this video is: sales of bottled water in China doubled between 2010 and 2015. In 2013, China overtook the USA as the biggest market for water by volume, but not value, as the price of a bottle was higher in the USA. The increase in global consumption of bottled water has increased the size of firms producing bottled water, but also has increased pollution. So the part C for the question is: analyze why the price of a product may be higher in the USA than China, for 6 marks, and this is from the variant 2.1, May-June 2016, and the source is CIE.org. To recap the concepts first, if I place higher price of USA for a product on one end, and for the same product I assume that it has a lower price in China, let's look at the reasons why it could be so. In USA, there could be higher wages, which could lead to higher costs, and in order to cover higher costs, the producer or the retailers are charging higher price. But conversely, wages could be low in China, which means that overall the costs are lower and hence the retailers are able to charge a lower price. Another reason for the product being priced higher in USA is that the product could be a monopoly, which means that it has a lower PED, or it is inelastic, which means that the producers can charge a higher price, since the effect on quantity demanded would be low. But in China, the same product could have many substitutes, which would make it elastic. And when a product is elastic, a firm can increase revenue by charging a lower price. Other reason could be that the government has put taxes, which has increased the cost of production in the US, which could lead to higher prices. In China, the same product could be a recipient of a subsidy by the government, which has lowered the cost of production, and the producers are able to pass this subsidy in the form of lower prices. In the US, business may experience diseconomies of scale, which means that as they are producing more, the average cost is increasing, and as average cost is increasing, they are able to charge, or they are forced to charge, higher prices. In China, the same companies producing the product could be facing an economies of scale, which would result in a lower average cost and hence lower prices. USA, there could be of low supply of the product, which could result in shortages as opposed to demand, and that's why the producers are charging higher price. In China, there's a high supply of the same product, which results in surpluses in the market, and hence a lower price is charged by the retailers. Another very pertinent reason could be that in the USA, the government has applied, there are market forces, and due to the market forces, the prices are high. In China, the government may have applied something known as a price ceiling, which is the maximum price a producer can charge, which is below the equilibrium price, and because of that, the prices are low. Having recapped the concepts, now let's dig in right into the question. This is a 6-mark question with a command word of analyze. Let's look at the marking scheme. Uh, the 6 marks are divided into 2 marks of knowledge and 4 marks of analysis. AO1 is knowledge and AO2 is analysis. Now let's look at how we are going to answer this. So if I divide my question into 2 parts, knowledge and analysis, this is how I will begin. First, I will set a reason. I will start off by giving some knowledge. The first claim that price in China for a product could be lower than USA due to subsidies paid by the government. Now this is the knowledge. I have to further analyze and explain this. I could say that subsidies are payments made by the government to the producers to reduce costs or increase supply. Due to lower costs, the business may be able to charge a lower price than the same product produced in USA. Now, not only have I mentioned what subsidies are, I've explained what subsidies are and the effect on price in China as compared to USA. My second reason could be the product in USA is a monopoly with no competitors, but there are many competitors in China. Now, this is a knowledge point. How do I explain this? I start off by explaining, since the product is a monopoly in USA, it has a lower elasticity, which means the producer are able to charge a higher price to increase the revenue. Since the product may have many substitutes in China, the price elasticity of demand is higher and the product has lower price. So now I'm comparing what it is like to be a monopoly. Being a monopoly means that your product is inelastic, which means the producers can charge a higher price and the revenue will increase, as opposed to China, where the product might have a high level of substitutes. Now this point is something which I believe that it is superfluous, it is not required, but I'm still writing it so that my answer becomes foolproof. There are fewer taxes on the product in China as compared to higher taxes on the product in USA, which means higher indirect tax will raise cost of production in USA and the producers may be forced to charge a higher price than those in China, which means that the taxes are raising the cost of production, and to cover the cost of production, the producers in USA are forced to charge a higher price. So I would get 1 mark for knowledge by writing the first point. I would get this 2 marks for writing the analysis for the first point. For identification of the second factor, I would get 1 mark, and then for the subsequent analysis, I would get 2 marks, and same is the case with the last point. So even if I write any of the two, I would be able to get 6 on 6 or close above that. There are certain things that you have to bear. First, you have to identify the reason and analyze the impact on price. Both of these ingredients have to be mentioned in order to get the maximum amount of marks. You can approach the question from both ends, either by explaining why the prices are lower in China or why the prices are higher in USA. If you make a bullet point list like approach, you will get a maximum of 3 out of 6 marks. So these are the things which can help you in achieving a greater point on this question, and I hope this effort of today has helped you. Best of luck.